Salmon are a keystone species in the Salish Sea, providing food for both humans and top predators. With awareness of the threats to salmon and restoration efforts growing, these vital fish are making a comeback and could become an important source of protein for humans once again.
People in our region have had salmon as a major source of protein in their diet and fat in their diet for millennia. Unfortunately, that source has dwindled away in more recent years. As you may know, the leading cause of preventable death in the United States is tobacco use. About 450,000 deaths, premature deaths every year. Second is obesity. 350 to 400,000 deaths a year, premature deaths, are directly attributable to being overweight. Salmon, if there were more of it and it were reasonably priced, would be probably the single most important food item you could add to a diet, because it's lean protein and the fats that are there are the kind of fats you need and not the kind of fats that hurt you. And that's extremely rare. Fish in general are good. Salmon amongst the fish are particularly good. I think we should be making all progress we can make to reestablishing salmon runs like they used to be.
wenxia is one of 14 fishery enhancement groups throughout Washington State. We are a nonprofit since 1990. Washington legislation decided that there was problems with fisheries and problems with population numbers of fish coming back. So they decided to create a coalition of fishery enhancement groups. All of us are doing work throughout Washington State, being community-based and concentrating on freshwater restoration work.
Here in the Nooksack Basin, some of the biggest influences affecting salmon have come from forest clearing, agriculture, and maybe to a lesser extent, urbanization. These have all changed patterns of stream flow. A particular problem is that as we've cut down so much of the old growth timber in the area, we don't have that same supply of large trees, which you might not think of as being important for salmon habitat, but they actually are, because large trees, when they die and fall into the river, become what we call large woody debris, and those are really important habitat features.
Primarily we do riparian restoration, and that is riparian enhancement through planting trees. We also do a lot of substrate enhancement. We rechannel some streams, help them meander. Removing fish passage barriers is our mission. We can build all the good habitat we want, but if fish can't get there, then we're not doing any good for the fish anyway. Most people's first encounter with wenxia is through our community work parties, and I think that's really our biggest arm for reaching out to the community and saying, hey, we're here and you can participate in what we're doing. And we provide all the tools and the gloves and refreshments and all the instruction on what the goals are for the day, whether it's maintenance, invasive removal, planting trees, and the community gets to learn a little bit about what we do.
Today we're at Shell Creek Marsh. It's Make a Difference Day. It's a National Day of Service. So we get a lot of people come out and do their part for the community, and a lot of people to plant trees and shrubs today. Everybody out in the community and students from Western are here. Members of LEAD are here, kids and parents, and members of both the City of Bellingham and Cordell.
Riparian vegetation is really important for stream health and especially for salmon fishes, for salmon and trout. The wood helps to deflect flow and creates very deep pools, and it provides cover so the juvenile fish have a place where they can rest and stay out of the high flows and get away from predators. Here in the community, I think it's important for us to remember that everywhere we go is a watershed. Every square inch of land drains into some creek or river or bay someplace. And so just about everything we do has an impact on it. When we drive our cars, lining from brakes, any drips of oil you might have, all of that stuff eventually makes its way into the creek.
when those runs become reestablished at the same levels that they were in the past, I think it'll make a very high quality protein source actually much, much more available. So absolutely we should do everything we can to preserve and restore the salmon runs in the river. And in doing that, we will preserve and restore things we don't even understand and that are essential for our well-being, not just the fish.
Dogs, so they're like therapy dogs, and so people can just kind of hang out with them, like decompress.
Oh, we had the Dead Parrot Society do an improv workshop, which was really good. I'm really impressed with what the team did and what the speakers are doing, and the fact that obviously it's resonating with the audience.
How do you think the event is going so far?
How does it sound like it's going?
This event definitely exceeded our expectations.